First and foremost, just in case you didn't really catch up on the updates, well, Proteus is available in early access. It has been since 2 years ago, and it is going to be released as a full product in only about a month from now. Proteus is basically an old classic Doom game, but one that is modernized and fine-tuned to literally perfection, for those of you new. The game is sitting on Steam with overwhelmingly positive review scores and will cost you about only $25. Check it out in case you missed it. Coming our way, on the other hand, from only a couple of weeks ago, we have SE-INSCREVA, I would assume, an action-adventure first-person shooter, obviously running on GZ Doom, same engine that made old retro classic Duke and Doom games. SE-INSCREVA is, as you can see, however, a mix of Fear Games aesthetics made with Doom engine and taking cues from Quake. Here's a trailer. A demo is available for the game right now on Steam too, with a full release expected by the end of 2022.
New members are needed to help fully unlock our new planet's potential. Discover the Martian wilderness today.
Let's see what we got.
And number 3, specifically for those of you who missed out just this past week, 1C Entertainment also came out and announced a brand new single-player retro shooter called Diluvian Ultra. Technically a game with a heavy focus on retro aesthetics and fast-paced strategy combats. Here's the good news. A demo for the game also just came our way about a few hours ago on Steam, and the full game's set to be coming out later this year. Coming up next, it is Deadlink, revealed around December last year as a cyberpunk first-person shooter at heart, and one that actually borrows roguelite elements from other games like Quake, specifically. Here's the thing, Deadlink will release in Steam Early Access later this year, we hear, and it is also available to play through a demo on Steam right now. Check it out, just in case you missed it. Alright, coming up at number 5, and it's been quite a while since we've actually had one of these. During the Future Games show, we just came across a brand new cyberpunk-themed first-person shooter and a role-playing hybrid called Beyond Sunset. This game is described by its developers as a lo-fi shooter, one mostly about exploring and character development, then obviously shooting. Check it out. This game is also available on Steam through a demo and due out mid to late next year. Moving on, we'll once again by 3D Realms, one of the greatest of all time when it comes to old retro first-person shooters. We have here with us a brand new title named Cultic. Cultic is actually available on Steam through a demo too and set to be coming out in its full later this year. The game's description reads fast and deadly. Apparently the game is all about precision and fast play. It is also, as you can see, made to feel like a throwback to old shooters, but one definitely with the advantages of a modern engine. Check it out. Project Warlock 2, on the other hand, is now actually available in early access for PCs for the price of $15 and with a I insist, very positive review score. See, Project Warlock 2 actually, for those of you not new, picks up after the events of the first game with all sorts of new stuff, be it weapons, characters, lore, and more. It also then features the first single-player chapter out of a planned series of 3. Check it out.
I heard you were back in town, but I don't remember sending you an invitation.
On the other hand, we have something pretty interesting going on here called Fallen Aces. Technically, as you can see, a first-person crime noir that just looks right out of a comic book and old 70s classic movies. It's a really interesting looking IP, specifically when it comes to innovation, which is something to be appreciated. You can play this game on Steam through a demo for free right now, where it says the game's releasing real soon. Check it out.
I'll be watching you, Michael. Good luck, old friend.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Beats.
Beats who?
Beats the shit out of you.
Coming up behind that, we have Chains of Fury, a Metroidvania boomer shooter inspired by Lobo and 13, both first-person shooters in case you're unfamiliar with, and one filled to the brim with nastiness, just blood, gore, Easter eggs, and some old Duke Nukem inspirations. Also then inspired by Hellboy in terms of lore. Check it out, the game has already gathered initial gold funds on Kickstarter and into stretch goal territory. It is releasing later this year and it's available to play for free through a demo on Steam.
revenge.
Hello, Doctor. I had hoped for us to meet at my estate. No matter.
Guys, at number 10, and this just came our way through another trailer, we have Gloomwoods. Well, for those of you new, a stealth horror first-person shooter that follows an abduction kind of story, some sort of a twisted metropolis in the midst of a horrifying transformation. This is just how the game is described by its developers, not my fault. Here's the trailer. Gloomwood said to be coming to PCs only August 16, and it can play now on Steam through a free demo. Up next, it is Hyper-Violence, a brutal, fast-paced, old-school first-person shooter in the style of old classic sprite-based 3D games from the 90s, where after responding to a distress signal from a remote mining colony on a different planet, you find yourself in the midst of a violent outbreak among its inhabitants. Then you get to fight your way through hordes of enemies as you attempt to contain the infection. Check it out. Hyper-Violence said to be coming out later this year and for PCs only through Steam. On the other hand, Hands of Necromancy, what we have here is a dark fantasy first-person shooter, obviously a Metroidvania game too, or so it is described by its developers, and similar to games like Heretic, one of my favorites. So this game technically lets you play the role of a necromancer who seeks to grow more powerful and learn new forms of dark magics and stuff. This game is also available on Steam through a demo and set to be released in about 2 days from now. Moving on, we've got Binary Run, a synthwave-inspired retro shooter with a blend of platforming, bullets, and just guns. That is how it's developed by developers, by the way. Binary Run is also available now on Steam through a demo. It is set to be coming out, not really sure, but apparently later this year, on PCs only, and this is how it actually looks like. Coming up behind that, we have Exophobia, actually recently revealed to be a retro-inspired first-person shooter, obviously, and one that takes place on an abandoned spaceship in space, obviously filled with aliens. Kinda looks like Dead Space. There, you will then explore your surroundings while you uncover piece by piece the backstory and destiny of its inhabitants, which used to be humans. Check it out, this game's set to be coming to PCs, Switch, and other consoles as well sometime later this year, and it is also available on Steam through a playable demo. And last but not least, we have Hellscreen, technically a single-player, level-based first-person shooter, one in the fast, frantic style of old classic first-person games of old 90s, like Doom, obviously, and Quake, even Unreal. See, Hellscreen actually had a Kickstarter campaign that failed to reach just standard goals, and it is now in some sort of a development. However, we heard if all goes well with it, the game will eventually land on the Nintendo Switch and PCs sometime later.